We did it! We did it! 200K, baby, let's go! What is up, YouTube? It's your Oprahsidenigga, and we are back for another video. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the 200,000 subscriber special. Now, before we hop into this video, I just got a few things I gotta say. Number one, thank you, Lord. All praise be to God. Without God, I wouldn't even be able to be in the position that I'm in right now. I might not even be free. I might still be in jail. So all thanks be to God. Thank you, Lord, so much for everything that you do. Number two. Oh, man, I love all you guys. Shout out to all you guys. Whether you like the videos, whether you're subscribed on Twitch, or whether you're subscribed on YouTube, whether you comment, whether you follow me on Twitter or Instagram or anywhere else, as long as you support me, even if you're not trying to support me, even if you still end up supporting me, even if you're one of the haters, you know what I'm saying, and you try to spread hate, but you end up still putting people on me and you're still watching me the same as everybody else. I love all of you guys, bro. I love all of you guys. Real shit. I couldn't be more happier. To be honest with you guys, to be real honest with you guys, I feel like I should hit 200K a long ass fucking time ago, to be quite honest. But I'm not trying to say that to be cocky or to sound like I'm ungrateful. I'm truly grateful, truly blessed to be able to hit 200K. A lot of people don't even hit that, and they especially don't hit it with the type of activity, video to video, that I have. So I'm definitely 100% thankful. I just feel like I should hit it a while ago, and I'm not even gonna go into any of the reasons why, because this is a totally positive video, not a negative one. Is there one more thing I'm forgetting? Oh yeah, there is one more thing I'm forgetting. We're getting so big on YouTube that we actually caused a little bit of stir. I got an email a few days ago, and I got a trademark complaint from this other company named OSN. If you go on Twitter, you see OSN. If you type in OSN in the search bar, you ain't really gonna see them. All you gonna see is me. That's part of the reason why there's a trademark complaint, because they so mad. They used to have more subs than us. Used to have more subs than the squad, but now we got more subs than them. So now they mad as fuck. So they submitted a trademark complaint. They actually own the phrase OSN. So I had to change my channel names from OSN. I can't rock that anymore, and I had to take it out of all the titles and the visuals and stuff like that. So that's why you see it's Oprahside. But ladies and gentlemen, now it is time for the story. I'm not even really mad that they made me change it. That just means that we're winning, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? If they ain't hating, you ain't doing something right. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to be hating, and you ain't doing nothing right. Look how many haters LeBron got. You feel me? Look how many haters Curry got. You feel me? Drake. We can keep going. So hating is no problem to me. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the story of how I went. I've been holding on to this story for a long ass time. You guys are gonna learn a lot from this story. It's a super long one, so we gotta get started. We already spent a couple minutes on the intro. This is a story of how I went from the biggest person in Black Twitter, literally the most famous account in Black Twitter, to an absolute fucking nobody, fucking random, somebody that doesn't even get recognized. This story is absolutely crazy. Like I said, you guys are gonna learn a lot about this story. It's gonna answer a lot of questions. So without any further ado, sit back, relax, and let's get to it. Shout out to the people already get your boy. Y'all like
free throw. Y'all ready for this? Free throw. Get money. Get money. You know, I was hitting a couple shots, and and then I shot it, and I was like, hibachi, and it went in.
My little Jew was just sent my phone out today talking about I fuck with 2 million was I can't fuck.
Alright, now I recorded this story earlier today. Shit was like an hour long. I'm gonna try my best to get everything into this story as I can and try and keep it under 30 minutes for y'all. It's so much. I'm gonna try my best not to ramble and get off topic. So let's just get started. Okay, this story starts about 6 to 8 months before I started YouTubing. So a few years ago now. When I started off, I had no followers on Twitter or anything like that. I was just like you guys. I had zero. I didn't have anything. But for those of you that have been on Twitter, I'm stuttering my ass off today. For those of you that have been on Twitter for a long ass time, you guys know when Twitter first started, they used to have those websites you could go on and then like, yo, you could get a free 50 followers or free 100 followers every day by just going on the website and then tweeting out some little bullshit tweet that you could delete right after or whatever, right? So that's how I started off on Twitter. I used to do those, make a few hundred followers. And then I'm like, you know what? Let's take it up a notch. Twitter lets you follow 1,000 people a day. What if I just follow 1,000 people every day? And then at the end of a month, let's see how many followers I got at the end of a month. So I'd follow 1,000 people every day. Usually about 300 or 400 would follow me back. About 600 wouldn't. And then at the end of that month, I was sitting on a little over 10K followers, following a whole lot of people, following like 20 or 30K people. But what I would do was I would unfollow everybody, not 20, it would be 30K because 1,000 a day, my stupid ass. But what I would do was I would unfollow all of the people. So let's say I followed 30,000 people, had 10K followers. At the end of that month, I would unfollow everybody, even the people that followed me back. I'd unfollow everybody. So now I'm sitting there following zero with 10K followers. So now I'm low-key looking like I'm somebody. I'm not really getting a whole lot of retweets, but I am still getting 20, 30 and shit right there. You know what I'm saying? So that is how I got it started. That's how I started off on Twitter. Now let me review my notes here. Stop locking, fucking phone. We got a lot to go over. Okay. All right. Now let me explain to you guys what Black Twitter is before we go any further in the story. Now, because when I said Black Twitter in the title, it might have confused a couple of you guys. Okay, a majority of you guys are in 2K Twitter. Some of you guys are in 2K and Madden Twitter. All that means is you're just putting a word in front of it, and that word describes a majority of the people that you follow, what they tweet about. Not really who they are, but what they tweet about. So when I say 2K Twitter, a majority of the people that you guys follow, they only tweet about 2K stuff. You know what I'm saying? Or they might tweet about Madden stuff. You guys might be in Madden Twitter. I know some of you guys are in Call of Duty Twitter. You know what I'm saying? A majority of you are just in YouTube Twitter. Let's just call it YouTube Twitter. Now, when I first started, I wasn't in YouTube Twitter. I was in Black Twitter. Now, Black Twitter doesn't mean all black people. In fact, it's probably mostly not black people. There's a whole lot of white people, Mexicans, all of that in Black Twitter. Black Twitter really just means the type of way that you tweet. You tweet funny shit, you tweet savage shit, you tweet shit about basketball games. It's really just the majority of what people on Twitter are in, somewhat or another. Like, a lot of people don't really make it all the way into Black Twitter where they only follow Black Twitter type accounts, but they do follow some people so they know about it. Like, I'm sure some of you guys probably follow some accounts in Black Twitter right now, like my boy Versace or Louis V. or Wayne. You might follow some of these guys. These are like Black Twitter accounts. You know what I mean? You guys might even follow Funny Pics Depot, World Star Comedy, or Childhood Ruiner. Those are all like Black Twitter accounts. So when I started, I was like, yo, I would see people like, we'll just use Versace and my boy Louis and Wayne and shit for example. So I see these dudes, I got like no followers. I'm seeing these dudes in Black Twitter. They got all of these girls and stuff retweeting them. They getting all of this love. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to get like them. I'm trying to get my followers up. I'm trying to pull thousands of retweets. I'm trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about me, when I set my mind to something, it's hard for me to do other stuff. But when I set my mind to something, I just go 100% with that. I'm just all in on that. That's how I've always been, whether it's with beats, whether it's with YouTube, whether it's with Twitter, no matter what it was. Whenever I set my mind to something, I'm usually just all the way in. When I was doing my Call of Duty shit, it's hard for me to do two things all the way in at one time. Like, I'm really just focused on one thing. So I get in this zone. I get in this zone with Twitter. Like, yo, I get obsessed with trying to figure out about Twitter and shit like that. And then that's when my friend Corey and Dash, they told me about this shit called Hootsuite. Now, a lot of you guys probably don't know what Hootsuite is. You probably heard of TweetDeck before, but you guys probably only use TweetDeck to try to see when somebody tweets something because it refreshes it a little bit earlier than Twitter. But that's not what TweetDeck and Hootsuite are for. Both of these are apps that you download on your phone or that you can access on the internet. What these are is you go on the Hootsuite, you go on the TweetDeck, you make an account, you make a Hootsuite account. And once you make that account, you can have as many other Twitter accounts as you want join it. So you make a Hootsuite page, and then you sign into that page with your Twitter account, and then you can give the info to that Hootsuite page to as many other people as you want, and then they can sign in with their Twitters. Now you might be thinking, okay, so what's the big deal? Think about it like this. Let's say you're in a Hootsuite where you can't sign into this Hootsuite with your Twitter account unless you have 20,000 followers. Now let's say there's 40 people signing into that Hootsuite, all with 20,000 real followers that are active. What these Hootsuites allow you to do is once you sign in and you see all of these people that are signed in with their accounts, you can retweet any of your tweets off of their account. So every 30 minutes or twice every hour, the rules of these Hootsuites and TweetDecks were you can tweet one tweet off of, you know what I'm saying, all of these accounts. So let's say everybody in there's got like 20,000 followers. You tweet one thing off of all 20,000 accounts, you're pulling in hundreds of retweets. I know you guys have probably seen people that like, yo, you like their tweets, but then they get to retweet a bunch of random shit and you're like, that's not really them retweeting that shit. That's because they're in a Hootsuite or a TweetDeck and people are hitting those tweets off of their account. So the good thing is you get a lot of retweets and followers because you get to hit all of your tweets off of all these other people's Twitter accounts. But the bad thing is now you got all of these people tweets on your timeline and shit like that too. So there's good sides and positive sides to it. But what I found out around 20K, I didn't even know what Hootsuites were. I was still just following people and unfollowing them. And then my friend Dash, like I said, Dash and Corey, they told me about this Hootsuite. Dash was in a Hootsuite. He was like, yo, tell me one of your tweets and I'll hit it out the Hootsuite for you. And he smacked my tweet out the Hootsuite, right? And I went from like 20 or 30 retweets to like 600 or 700 in a few minutes. It was crazy. I'm like, yo, so this is the move? This is what everybody be doing? How did I not know about this? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh yeah, I'm trying to get in one of them joints. Get me in one of them joints. Fuck you mean? I had about 20K, so Dash was able to get me into his Hootsuite. I think he had like 30 or 40K at the time. So I joined Dash's. Now, the way that these Hootsuites and TweetDecks work is there's like a big group chat, and the leader of the Hootsuite and the TweetDeck is the leader of the group chat, and then all the other members of the TweetDeck and the Hootsuite are in the group chat. So the group chat will have anywhere from like 30 to 100 people in it. The group chat will be busting all day long. These little Twitter niggas just be tweeting shit and in the group chat all day long. Literally, that's all these motherfuckers be doing. Anyways, let's get back to the story. Okay, so what I would do is sometimes I would be in the group chats and shit, and I'd be talking to them, and I'm like, yo, I'm trying to get in other Hootsuites. I'm trying to get in other TweetDecks. Like, I don't want to just be in this one. I want to sign into as many as possible. I don't care if people are retweeting this crap off of my account. As long as I'm getting retweeted off of theirs, I'm thinking it doesn't matter because I'm going to be probably on it more than them. That was my thinking behind it. So I'm like, yo, who do I need to talk to? Like, I'm trying to move my way up. Or they told me that there was two main Hootsuites. There was one that was ran by this dude named Juan. And the one that was ran by Juan, you had to have about 25,000 to 60,000 followers to get into it. And then they had one that was even higher up than that. That was for about 60,000 all the way up. They had people that had 200,000 followers in this Hootsuite. And the name of that group, the highest one up, the one that all of these people that I'm in, whether you're at 20K, 10K, 5K, no matter how many Twitter followers you're at and you're trying to work your way up in Black Twitter and stuff, everybody aspires. Everybody's dream was to be in Low Key Legends. Now, I think Low Key Legends is probably still going on. I don't know. I'm not in it anymore, but they're not as active and it's not a big deal anymore because Twitter's not even a really big deal like that. But at the time, Twitter used to be a really big deal. Everybody used to want to be in Low-Key Legends. Low-Key Legends was literally like the sidemen of Twitter. If you get into Low-Key Legends, you're pulling thousands upon thousands upon thousands of retweets literally in like a minute or two. Like it's absolutely crazy. So I was like, okay, I'm trying to get in Low Key Legends. So first I got to talk to Juan. I'm like, yo, I talked to Juan. Juan got me in his Hootsuite around like 20 or 30K. I had to prove all of my followers were real. I had to prove that like my Twitter account was active, that like people, and active just means that people are retweeting me and faving my tweets without me hitting them off of anybody else's accounts or anything like that, just to show that like people really like me for me and shit. So I showed him that, and then he got me into the Hootsuite. Now this is when the problems started. Now, when Juan got me into his Hootsuite, I was probably still in Dash's TweetDeck, and then maybe one or two more. So I was in like 2 or 3. And when I got into Juan's, I started going crazy, guys. I started going absolutely crazy. I never would tweet one thing that I wasn't trying to get thousands upon thousands upon thousands of retweets on. Never any personal stuff, just funny pictures, funny videos, whatever I thought would get a whole lot of retweets. And I was having so much success. I joined Juan at the beginning of the month, and by the end of the month, I literally went from about 25,000 followers to about 60,000. I was making over 1,000 a day. No one else in these Hootsuites or TweetDecks. There were people with low-key legends that weren't even making that many followers. I start going crazy. I start getting so much clout. It got to the point where literally just hundreds of bad bitches were following you, bro. I could literally just slide into the DMs and say anything. I swear to God, bro, I promise you guys, I could say anything. I could come in the DMs first message and be like, hey, bae, or hey, boo. I could literally say any type of bullshit I wanted and it would work 100%. Like, I literally could not say the wrong thing. I got so many stories to tell you guys about me flying out to see bitches and bitches flying out to see me. We're not gonna get into all of that right now, but bro, just know my Twitter clout start getting crazy. Everybody started knowing who Oprahsidenigga was. My tweets were hitting 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 retweets. My mentions were on 100 plus every few seconds. Like, it was absolutely insane, bro. It was insane. I had famous people like Wale and other actors and shit following me, DMing me first, telling me how much they liked the shit that I was dropping in my videos and my tweets and my pictures, how much they liked me and how original I was compared to all of these. I was just going absolutely crazy. Now, there's positives to that and there's negatives to that. The positives were all the things that I named, the thoughts, the tweets, the love that I was getting. The negatives were there were a lot of people hating. Man, when you're I hate to pull the race card because the shit really isn't racist, but I've noticed just in life, when you're black, you just get a little bit more haters. You just do. I'm not saying that white people don't have haters at all. White people most definitely have a lot of haters. You know what I'm saying? But when you're black, you just get that much more. It's just a little bit harder, bro. That's just the truth. That's the world we live in. You can believe me when I say that. You could think I'm talking bullshit, but from my experience in life and everything, it's just a little bit harder. Not a lot harder, but a little bit harder now. Since I was black and there was a lot of white people and all these dudes tweeting, I just had a little bit more haters than everybody else, because of the success that I was doing, especially when these rappers started trying to make songs with me, because I was doing beats and stuff at the time. That was really the only reason I was trying to grow my Twitter was, you know what I'm saying, because I was trying to get like exposure to these rappers and have them know about my beats and shit like that. So that was really the only reason I was trying to grow my Twitter. Now niggas started hating and the hate got insane. Now before we get to the hate, there's just one other part of the story I have to tell y'all. Okay, so you remember how I said I went from 25,000 to about 60,000 followers, right? At the end of that month, when I had about 60,000 followers, me and Juan were real close. We were the best of friends. He was telling them all like, yeah, bro, Clark he just makes more followers and his tweets just get more than everybody's just going crazy. So people in low-key legends started knowing about who I was, and I started to become a little bit of somebody to them, because even though a lot of these guys were at like 80,000, 90,000 followers, they're seeing me go from like 30 to 60 in a matter of a few days. You know what I'm saying? In a matter of a month or so, and they're like, "Yo, this dude is putting in work." Now, at the end of that month, probably around the time I was at about 60,000 followers, everyone in Low Key Legends got suspended. All of their accounts got suspended, deleted, everyone. Nobody that was in the Hootsuite that me and Juan are in, none of them, but everybody that was in Low Key Legends, all of the biggest tweeters at the time, they all got suspended. Every last one of them. They all lost their accounts. All the people I was just talking about, they all lost their accounts. It was absolutely crazy. Now, what ended up happening was when they all lost their accounts, the leader of Low Key Legends, he still wanted to keep it going because he had a feeling that they were going to get their accounts back and stuff, which they ended up doing a few weeks later, probably 2 or 3 weeks later. But during that time, he wanted to still keep it going until they got their accounts back. So what he did was he brought Juan up told Juan you're in low-key legends, and then he told Juan to get the most active people that were in your Hootsuite and bring them up, and they are now in low-key legends, at least for now. Now, if they do good, they can stay in it. If not, they get moved back down and shit like that. So obviously, like I told you, I was making more followers than any of these other 30 or 40 people that were in the Hootsuite with me and Juan. So of course, you know your boy got moved up instantly to low-key legends. And when I got moved up to low-key legends, it felt great. I'm not gonna lie, it felt great. Now, even though a lot of these the only reason I got moved up is because everybody lost their accounts, it still felt good. Like, that's like getting in the side, man. But the only reason you got in the side, man, is because KSI and Rodashaw and Mini Mentor all lost their YouTubes. I mean, it would be sad. It'd be like, okay, I only got in because of that, but you would still be happy that you got in because you know what it is, what the name of it is, what you're now a part of. You know what I mean? It would still be super exciting. So I was super excited to be in Low-Key Legends. Just still going absolutely crazy. Just as crazy in Low-Key Legends as I was in Juan's Hootsuite, pulling over 1,000 followers every single day. Like, I was just going absolutely insane, and I went from about 60,000 followers and I got to about 90,000 followers. I was getting ready to hit 100K. Now, a lot of these dudes, when they got suspended, these dudes that were in Low-Key Legend, they got suspended around 70, 80,000 followers. They had more than me at the time. They got their accounts back a few weeks later. Now I've got more followers than them. So now I'm even bigger than them, you know, and follower count and influence on Black Twitter. I now have more of an influence than them too, and that was making them tight. I'm gonna say I was the biggest. I became the biggest account in Low-Key Legends. I became the biggest account in Low-Key Legends. I'm not going. Louis, I know you watching this. I became the biggest account in Low-Key Legends, bro. It was absolutely insane. I had some tweets that would pull over 1,000 retweets in less than like 30 seconds. I had some tweets that had over 30, 40, 50,000 retweets. I was literally, at the time, when I was going hard, bro, in Low-Key Legends, when I was going hard, no one was going harder than me. Not a single person was going harder than me. That made a lot of people mad. Like I said, there were people that had about 80K and then they came back when they got their account back. Now I got more than them. So there was probably about 5 or 6 people that plotted on me to get me out. Now they had always been hating on me from the start, but it was never anything next level. Before I tell you what they did next level hate, let me just tell you the main points that they used to say when they used to hate on me in the group chat, because I had so many people that would hate on me. Number one, they would call me a parody account. Now, a parody account just means somebody like Funny Pics Depot, World Star Comedy, those accounts like that. People that don't tweet anything personal about their life. They only drop funny tweets for the people that are following them. They call me a parody account because I never tweeted anything personal about my life or going to the bathroom or going to get food or any of that type of shit. I only tweeted shit that was real funny because I was, like I said, I was trying to get as many retweets and stuff as possible. So they would call me a parody account, number one. And then number two, the second thing that they would say, I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, they would say they would always accuse me of stealing tweets. Now let me tell you guys why this is invalid. Why this is invalid. The parody account, that's kind of valid. I don't consider myself a parody account because I had a picture of me sleeping on the Popeyes box, you know what I'm saying? But I did only tweet funny stuff. They're right. I didn't tweet anything personal. That's 100% true. And let me tell you why this stealing tweets is invalid. Number one, you don't get paid for Twitter. That's number one. And then number two, there were so many accounts, people in the Hootsuites and TweetDecks I were in, and people that weren't, that I still knew. They used to steal my tweets all the time. Everybody used to always talk about I steal people's tweets, but do you know people? Funny Pics Depot, Childhood Ruler, World Star Hip Hop, those pages, I know who owned those pages. Almost every single one of those tweets were my tweets. They were literally robbing my tweets. And then but it's okay for them to do it, you know what I'm saying? But then it's, oh, Clark, no, you can't do it. And then that's not even the worst part about it. these accounts like Funny Pics Depot, Childhood Ruiner, and stuff like that, they were stealing my tweets word for word, literally copying and pasting my tweet onto their profile. Now, what I would do was I would see there'd be people who have funny tweets that don't have a lot of followers, maybe 2,000 or 3,000 followers, but their tweets would be gems. I would see a tweet, be like, yo, that's a good ass tweet, and then I would reword it so that I wouldn't directly steal anybody's tweet, and I would reword it, and then I would drop it. And people only, I'm telling you, I know for a fact, people only had a problem with it because I was more successful at it than anybody else. There was, bro, literally Juan and other people, leaders of the Hootsuite and TweetDecks were stealing direct tweets and rephrasing tweets just like me. Everyone does that in Twitter. You know, they were literally doing the same thing, but it was okay. It was okay if they did it. But no, I can't do it though, because you know what I'm saying, I'm black and I'm making more followers than everybody. So it's a problem if I do it. But if anybody else does it, it's cool. I'm telling you, had I not been making more followers than anybody, not even so much that I'm black, had I not been making more followers than everyone, it wouldn't even have been a problem. But the fact that I was, and Wale is hitting me up and all of these ladies and shit, like, it was a big problem. Niggas were hated, bro. I'm trying to tell you, the hating was crazy. So that's why they were hated. Now let me tell you what they did to try and get me out. Because about the time I hit 90K, they used to just hate on me. Whole time I was at like 20K to 90K, they would just hate on me in the chat. But that didn't really bother me. You know what I'm saying? Hate has never really gotten to me. Like, you can say whatever you want, because I truly do not care what anybody says. Like, I truly don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, it does not get under my skin. I don't think about it late at night or none of that shit. I move on and I'm to the next thing. Like, none of that matters. So once they saw that the hating wasn't working on me, they were like, okay, you know what? We got to get this nigga out. Now, the first way, they tried to get me out twice. The first way that they tried to get me out, they tweeted out, they didn't even tweet out. They dropped a picture in the group chat trying to show that my Twitter. Oh no, there's one more. I'm sorry. There's one more way that they used to hate on me. They would say I was a parody account. They would say I stole tweets, and then the last thing they would say was that my Twitter account wasn't active. Meaning, if I didn't hit all of my tweets off the Hootsuite and TweetDecks, I wouldn't get that many retweets. I would only probably get like 100. I wouldn't be pulling thousands and thousands. So those were the three things they would say. Oh, you're not even really active. Oh, you're a parody account. Oh, you steal tweets. Okay, so this is how they tried to get me out. The first way they tried to get me out was they tried to prove that my Twitter account really wasn't active at all. That I had just basically, that my followers didn't even really fuck with me. So what they did was they photoshopped this picture of this tweet that I actually tweeted out. But they photoshopped the number of retweets it got from like a few thousand to like, they photoshopped it down to like 50 retweets in like an hour or so. Then they dropped this in the group chat the next morning, like, yo, he tweeted this out last night, forgot to hit it out the Hootsuite and only got like 100 retweets, man. This dude got like 90K and he only pulling 100 retweets, man. Get this dude out of here. You know what I'm saying? They were trying to say I was inactive, but I had to do some research, some Sherlock Holmes detective work. I was able to find out that they photoshopped it. I mean, I knew they photoshopped it, but I was able to prove it. I was able to find out how to prove it to the chat. I'm like, yo, this isn't even the right tweet that came before this. You know what I'm saying? They didn't even photoshop the tweets in the right order. So this is 100% false. And then when I addressed it and told everybody it was fake, and it was obviously fake and everybody saw it as fake, nobody even tried to do anything about the people that accused me of that. Nobody tried to do anything about the people that fucking that made the tweet or photoshopped it. Nothing happened to them. You know what I'm saying? But had they proven that, then they would have kicked me out. But fake proving it, oh, nothing happens to them for, you know what I'm saying? It's just like with real quick, it's just like with rape. A motherfucker, even if you don't rape a girl, don't nothing happen to the girl if she say you raped her and then you did it, and then everyone finds out you didn't. Don't nothing happen to her for just lying and putting all of that shit on you. But had you gotten caught, you would have been in a world of trouble. It was that same thing. Ain't nothing happened to them for photoshopping and faking it. But had I, you know what I'm saying? So that was the situation I was dealing with at the time. So that was fucking annoying. Then another thing that they would do is, like I told you, you can retweet your tweet off of anybody's account. So that means that they can tweet anything off of your account. They can look at your DMs. They're literally signed into your account just like you're signed into theirs. So when I would fall asleep late at night, they would retweet hella gay porn and delete all of my best tweets. I had some tweets with like 40, 50,000 retweets that they deleted. I lost so many of my best tweets just because they deleted them when I would go to sleep and stuff like that. Like they were just trying to like crush my spirit. That didn't work. I just kept on going, tweeting new stuff. It was no big deal. So after they saw that didn't work, and then they tried to say I wasn't active, and then that didn't work. The last thing that they tried to do, they got real ugly, man. They took it next level, and they made like 50 or 60, maybe even 70 fake accounts, right? And then one day I'm in the group chat, they're calling me inactive or whatever. They're telling me, you know what, we got to do an activity test. We want to see if you're active, right? So I was like, okay, cool, no problem. I've had activity tests before. You have to have activity tests to be able to get in. So I tweet something out and it'll get about 250 retweets. Now, I pulled about 200, 300, 400 retweets, something like that on my own without hitting it out of any Hootsuite. But then when they went, for some reason, they went to go check the retweets, check to see who was retweeting it, who was favoring it and stuff like that. And when they went and checked they saw that it was like 50 to 80 accounts that wasn't following anybody, that didn't really have any tweets, and they had all favorited and retweeted this account. Now, this wouldn't be that hard for somebody to do. All they'd have to do is make the accounts and then make a Hootsuite or a tweet deck and then just sign in with all the accounts and then just smack it off. So when they did this, when they told me I needed to take an activity test and I tweeted out, got like 400 retweets, and then they look at it and they see about 80 to 100 of them were not real accounts. This made it look like a few things. This made it look like either number one, I bought retweets or faves, which I didn't, of course. Who the fuck does shit like that? You know, that's just like buying followers or buying YouTube subs or views. Like, who does shit like that? So obviously that was one of the things they were accusing me of in the chat. Oh my God, Clark, he bought retweets and followers. Wow, this nigga, wow. Then another thing that they were saying was that what else? Oh yeah, they tried to say that I made those accounts, that I took the time to make those accounts, even though you had literally just told me I was gonna get activity tested. Oh, but then somehow I had the time to just make 80 accounts just like that. Like I was just prepared for the next one. You know what I'm saying? So they tried to say that I made those accounts too and shit like that. And then it was crazy. They ended up kicking me out. You know what I'm saying? Once that hit the fan, I mean, I told them it wasn't me, but I didn't have any way of proving that it wasn't me. And their hate for me was so strong. They literally just wanted a reason to get me out. That's the thing. Just like on YouTube, man, when people don't like you, you don't even have to do anything wrong. You don't even have to do anything real bad to make somebody mad. You could do some light ass shit that's not even a big ass idea, and people are gonna crucify you. People are gonna hate on you like you just killed somebody, like you just caught a body. That's literally how people that didn't like you from the start are at, because now you're just giving them a reason not to like you. So when that came out, that just gave them a reason to hate on me even more, even though they didn't really have a reason, you know what I'm saying? But they could use that as their reason. So they ended up kicking me out of the Hootsuite, and that was the end of my Hootsuite. Now, at the time, I was at about 90,000 followers. I fell down to about 60K before I started YouTube, and over those next 4 or 5 months, fell down to about 60K. You might be thinking, how did you fall down? Well, that's the thing. It's not like YouTube. You guys are my fans. You guys like me as a person. You guys are fucking with me. Those people on Twitter, they don't really fuck with you like that. They're just there for your tweets. They're not really fans of you. They don't really like you that much. So if you're not giving them what they want, meaning funny ass shit, then they're gonna not unsubscribe. They're gonna unfollow fast as hell. So that's what they were doing. I lost hella followers, went down to about 60K. And that was the rise of how I was literally the biggest account, going from people talking about me at lunch, people noticing me in real life, famous people hitting me up, being able to pull any bitch to somebody that can't even slide in the DM successfully. It's crazy. I went from being able to say absolutely anything. I could come in there one word, bae, and pull them, literally, just on some Chris Brown shit. I could say anything and it'll work, to literally, I can't even pull him at all. Sometimes I often think, what would my YouTube be like if I was still able to pull 2, 5, 10,000 retweets? Wow, you know what I'm saying? Hootsuite and wow, still doing the YouTube shit and shit like that. But I often think about how cool it would be. Like, people have asked me to join Hootsuite and TweetDeck since I started YouTube and stuff, but I'm not even interested with that, man. That's all in the past. That was all what I used to do and shit like that. I'm just happy I got to experience what the retweets were like full force, you know what I'm saying? I think that is pretty much going to do it for this story. Let me quickly... Alright, yeah, that's gonna do it for this story, man. If you enjoyed, please be sure to give your boy a like. Thank y'all so much for getting your boy to 200K. I fuck with y'all so much. Salute to all of y'all. If you want to check out my tweets, you can on my Twitter. I still have all of my good tweets from back in the day saved. You can see some of them got like 20,000, 30,000 retweets, but none of them are super crazy because all of those ones got deleted by the little faggots. But yeah, man, I'm telling you, bro. It's just like they said in it's just like what they said in Batman. You live long enough. If you're the hero, you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. You know what I'm saying? I went from the hero, and I was the hero long enough to see myself become the villain. Eventually, you become the villain, just like Bill Cosby. You the hero long enough, eventually you go become the villain. They raise you. I can't remember who said it. Some basketball player said it, but they raise you up just to bring you down, man. This shit is absolutely crazy. That is gonna do it for this Real Nigga Tales. Thank y'all for watching. 200,000 strong. If you're new, please subscribe. And the last thing I'm going to say is to quote my boy Drake, Club Paradise. What happened to those things that you guys said were supposed to happen? Are we just supposed to ignore the fact that they never happened? This been your boy, Oprahsidenigga, and I'm down. Peace. Thought they was gonna end me, boy. I'm not going nowhere.